Boys and girls, in our story today, we follow the adventures of Paul and Luke when they went on a boat ride all around the islands of the Caribbean. One day on this boat ride, as they were off to tell the people on every island they could find on their way to Rome all about Jesus and his love, a big storm came up in the sky. The sky grew dark. It filled with clouds. There was thunder in their ears. They saw streaks of lightning coming down from the sky. It was a scary, scary storm. All of the people on the boat were terrified that the boat would crash and sink to the bottom of the sea. Well, that night, an angel appeared to Paul, and the angel said to Paul, "Don't worry, Paul. Everyone who's on this ship will be saved. Now the ship will sink, but everyone will find dry land and they will be safe. Tell the people this." So the very next morning, that's what Paul did. He told all of the people on the boat, "Don't worry, the storm will eventually go away. God will take care of us and work a miracle for us. But the boat will eventually sink." Boys and girls, it took 2 whole weeks on that boat, rocking and crashing, and winds coming in, and water splattering people in the face. 2 full weeks of that storm. Then Paul said to the people on the boat, "I noticed for 2 whole weeks you've been too sick and too scared to eat. You need to eat something now because you're going to need your strength for the journey ahead." Sure enough, the very next day, the ship did crash and the boat fell apart right in the middle of the water. People were swimming to shore and people were grabbing onto pieces of the boat so that they could float to the island. It was the rocks outside of the island that they crashed on. Well, eventually, every single person who was on that boat, more than 200 people, made it from the shipwreck all the way to dry land, to the island of Malta. When they were on the island of Malta, as they were getting food, something happened. Paul was fixing food and a snake bit him right on the hand. Everyone was very scared. They thought, "Oh no, that snake is called a viper, and vipers are very poisonous snakes. If one bites you, you will die." Boys and girls, Jesus worked another miracle for Paul right then and there, and Paul was not injured. He didn't even get a little bit sick. The bite went right away. When the people on the island of Malta saw this, they were amazed and they knew, wow, God must really be a powerful God. The mayor of the island of Malta was named Publius. Publius invited Paul and Luke to his house. Publius's father was very sick. And so Paul and Luke came to Publius's father and prayed to God and said, "In the name of Jesus Christ, let this man be healed." Another miracle, boys and girls. Publius's father was healed right then and there. Soon, many people from the island who were sick or who had something wrong with their bodies or who just needed help came to see Paul and Luke. Paul and Luke healed as many people as were able to come that day. It was an amazing trip on their way to Rome, and they stopped at that island of Malta because they had the terrible shipwreck. But many miracles and amazing things happened because of it, and also many people learned about God and his love and his power for the very first time. Boys and girls, in this story, you find that not everything always works out perfectly. There can be some bumps along the way. God has promised that he loves you and he will always take care of you. But there could be some things that happen from point A to point B to get you there. Paul and Luke's boat did crash. They had to swim to shore. Paul did get bit by a snake, but he didn't get hurt. He was healed immediately. And Publius's father was sick for a long time, but God healed him through a miracle through his disciples, Paul and Luke. You may have some hard times too. And there may be some days when you think, why am I going through this hardship? Why are things hard for me right now? Why aren't things perfect? Boys and girls, I promise you, God is up above. He's watching you. He knows your name. And He knows just how to work things out. Not everything will happen perfectly in your life, but I promise you this, it will all work out for good, just like Paul and Luke on their journey across the sea to Rome when they stopped shipwrecked on the island of Malta.